So everybody thinks that dieting just means being hungry 24/7 and constantly thinking about food. And well, unfortunately, I'm actually here to tell you that this is completely correct. That is, however, if you are eating like an idiot and you're not using the VVP method. Good morning, people. How are we doing? So we have just finished workout numero 1 of the day, a nice little interval run. Oh, that's me fucking stained that. And I thought that today would be the absolute perfect day to show you how I get the absolute most out of my calories as somebody training for a marathon, but also currently in actually a bit of a diet phase. And today I actually trained twice, so it could be very easy for my hunger to be absolutely sky high and for calories to go absolutely through the roof because I can't control my snacking and my cravings. Now, on a day like today, my macro targets are going to be the following. Forgive me if I get these wrong by a few numbers. I'm going to put them on the screen just now. We're looking at about 2,650 to about 2,750 calories, about 170 to 180 grams of protein, and then about 360 to 400 grams of carbs depending on the day. And I know that you're going to be like, oh my god, but Connor, that's like so much food. It'd be easy to not get hungry on that amount. And my answer would be, well, I'm just under 90 kilograms. I train 7 times per week. I'm currently running 50 plus kilometers per week. And also on top of that, I also do about 14,000 steps per day. So believe me when I say that this number is still a big enough deficit for me to have to think about it. So as you would have seen, I ate a bit earlier on before my run, which was my standard toast, banana, and a little bit of Aldi Spanish Forest honey. But now we are going to move on to breakfast. So right now I am absolutely in my poached eggs era, and we are having 3 of them. And this isn't even for a diet purpose, I just think they taste the best when they're poached. And FYI, if you choose hard-boiled eggs as your #1 choice, then you genuinely need tested in your head. And alongside our 3 eggs, we are running 3 slices of Tiger Bloomer. Now this could also be sourdough bread, which I usually prefer, but sadly Tesco were out, so we had to go with this. Now the first thing I do with my food today, my breakfast, which may be a little bit weird to you, is I have a cucumber with it. And not just a little bit, I pretty much 3/4 of this. Because the first part of the VVP method is veg. And these bad boy cucumbers are outrageously low in calories, and because they're like 92% water, they actually help you fill up pretty well. And you can also just have a lot of them. So, let's cook. If I'm having a poached egg, I want it fucking runny. I want my eggs that runny that they can do the fucking 100-meter sprint. Now here comes the moment of truth. Perfection. And perfection. Now, as the day goes on, I will put my ongoing macros onto the screen so you can see exactly what I'm having. So, after this, we are sitting at around, and I know that this will keep me nice and full until lunch, and I'm not going to have those shitty little 10 to 11 AM cravings that I know that you all have in the office. So let's go eat this, watch a bit of football highlights from yesterday, do some work, and I will see you at lunchtime. Okay, work block for the morning is complete. Now it's time to get some lunch. Oh my god, that's a very, very, very good flavour. Okay, so first of all, we have got our mince. 5% fat, of course. And then we actually have a very underrated food. It is taco beans. Because the second part of the VVP rule is volume. Getting more for less, or the same. So I'll have my mince because it's very good macros and it just tastes elite. And the taco beans are pretty decent for protein, carbohydrates, but they're also actually very, very satiating. Volume, meaning I can have quite a bit of these for not that much more calories. And as you now know, we'll be having a lot of veg to increase the volume. And the best way to think about volume is that when you look at my lunch when it's ready, you're probably going to think, it's probably about that amount of calories. Probably actually a lot less, because things like the taco beans and the veg make the meal size go up like that, but the meal calories only go up like that. That makes it so much easier to not get those snacky cravings because you've actually just filled your body up more. And these also, on a side note, come in a tomato sauce, which means that I save calories and I'm having to use more sauces to make it a bit less dry. So I'm obviously going to be tracking my mince, but only actually once I've cooked it. Because mince, when it's cooked alongside pretty much all meats, actually can decrease by like 20% in weight. And 20% of the weight of the mince can obviously impact things like calories in it. So I'll cook this mince off, I'll weigh it, I'll track it, and then I'll add in my taco beans. I'll have half today and I'll have half tomorrow. And then I'll do the exact same thing Wednesday for Wednesday and Thursday. It really is just that simple. Okay, so the mince is now cooked. Let's weigh it out. So as you can clearly see, that says 500 grams of mince. However, with it all actually weighed out, it actually only weighs 367 grams. So now when I put this into my fitness pal, I'm going to weigh it as 367 grams, and then I'll half it, and that's all what I'm going to have today. And I'll do the exact same with the taco beans, except the taco beans aren't going to lose water content. I'm just going to put in the weight of them that are on the jar, and I'll just half it today and tomorrow. So alongside our lunch, we are having this rice. It's barbecue rice. It's brand new from Aldi. See that? I'm new. Veg and volume go hand in hand. More veg adds more volume, makes your meals bigger without making your calories that much bigger. And this here is your lunch. Honestly, under 800 calories for this. It's actually 795 in total. And it's very, very good protein and carbohydrates. I will put the macros on screen. But we got our mince, we got our taco beans, we got our rice, we got, I know it's a bit of a weird veg bit, but it's pickled onions and lettuce. It is really fucking weird. This right here is going to keep me very fucking full. I'm going to go into the gym in about an hour and a half, and the car, I'm going to get a fucking pump and a half on from this. But I had my breakfast and I've not felt any cravings during the morning, and that is after having run about 11 kilometers this running. I'm now having my lunch. I'm going to go to the gym, and I probably still won't even feel that hungry after the gym, because this is going to keep me so full. And honestly, probably will keep me full until I go and have my dinner. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. For this moment. Boom, 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 boom. And it is time for dinner and part 3 of the VVP rule. Let's go to the fridge. So, as we are now in 2026, because of the effect of social media, pretty much everybody knows that if you want to get in shape in some way, shape or form, you're going to have to eat protein. Whether or not you're trying to lose weight or put on some size, protein is going to be very, very important and helpful for that. But now the other issue, whilst yes, more people now know to eat protein, one of the biggest common issues is how much protein do you actually need to eat? Now, similar to what I said previously, that no matter what your goal, protein is going to help. I'll also go in that sense and say that no matter what your goal is, your target should be 2 kilograms of protein per kilogram of body weight, which means that for me right now, I am aiming to hit 180 grams per day. Now, in the simplest possible terms, the number one and main reason for that matter, why you need to be trying to hit that target every day, is that protein takes longer to digest in your system, meaning it is more satiating. Essentially meaning it's going to stay in your stomach longer. Less room in your stomach generally will help with needing less food, aka less food, less cravings, less snacking, especially when combined with the other 2 rules of the VVP. Well, I suppose that's 4, isn't it? That's not 2. So this is our dinner, where we put together all 3 and the secret 4th element of the VVP method. Number 1 is veg. As you can see here, we got lettuce and we got 100, well, you can't see 130, but it is 130 grams of peas, which I was frozen, and I put them in hot water to defrost, a little bit of pickled onion, and then some lettuce, which is about 20 calories. Right, so quickly before part 2, we're going to quickly see how close my guess of how much potatoes it would be after they had cooked. I guessed anywhere from 300 to 330. Let's see. Have you doubted me? 330 for I am like Rain Man with potatoes. Part 2 is our volume. Now look, we've not even got our protein, but look how much fucking food is on that plate, and this is genuinely less than 500 calories. And then part 3 is our protein. So as I said, I think it would be about 300 grams. I was at 280. So I was 5 grams off on the potatoes and I was 20 grams off on the chicken. So across both of them, I was only 25 grams wrong. That is not bad. So get that on there. A bit of salt and lovely stuff. And the secret 4th part of the VVP method is M, and that stands for manipulation. What you want to try and do is you want to try and have, like I said about the protein, you want to try and have your meals around the times of the day where you struggle more so with. Now, for a lot of my clients, they sometimes struggle with those snacking cravings at about 10 a.m. and then potentially they haven't really eaten enough in the morning, so they actually do feel hungry, but they mistake the hunger for snacking cravings and they end up giving in. So what I would say to them is potentially let's look at maybe moving over more so of your calories into the breakfast. and protein as well. Same for people who maybe struggle more so with, you know, the 4 p.m. If you're thinking and watching this going, oh, but I struggle like all the time. Well, there does have to be an element of discipline there. I'm sorry, but it is true. There's things that you can do, but at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to be able to say no. And if you're a bit hungry sometimes and you're in a calorie deficit, then that's just the way of things. So I will put on my macros for this meal on screen right now, and then I will also put on the macros for my day in general. I am taking into account the fact that I will be having an apple and some fruit after this as well. But look, like I said, not a lot of you are going to be doing the volume I'm doing, you know, 7 times a week, all the running. For a lot of you would be absolutely fine. Even if you removed some of this chicken, some of this potatoes, I would just be aiming, like I said, 2 kilograms, not 2 kilograms of protein, 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight every fucking single day. When it comes to your lunch and dinner, veg across the board, all the time. Volume, exactly like with the veg, have plenty of it. Protein, I'm not going to say it again, 2 kilograms per kilogram of body weight, and then manipulation. This is how I'm going to be staying full on my diet right as I go into pretty tough period of training for a marathon and in a diet phase. I hope that this video has given you a lot of support, help, and things that you can take along in your own journey with nutrition. Any questions, any other thoughts, any other videos you would like to see from me, drop a comment below and I will see you in the next video.